So what is the Peter Principle? Is the Peter Principle actually real? And what are the problems associated with the principle? And what could be done to solve the issues related to the principle? Well, the principle was actually created by Laurence Peter. It's basically summed up as people are promoted to their level of incompetence when in a business hierarchy or structure. The general idea is that Peter, or some other employee, is recognised as being competent at their current job within the company. So at some stage in their time with the company, a more senior member of staff suggests that Peter, or whoever, could be promoted to another level. This often works well, as the person knows the company well, they can handle the previous job to a competent level, so the new job shouldn't cause them too much difficulty. The theory is that as Peter is promoted, at each level he's promoted to, he proves himself competent at the new level in the company, and continues periodically to get a new promotion to another role. It's until there's one final role where he struggles with the required skills to do the new job, and proves incompetent at this particular level. Hence, they're promoted to a level of incompetence. So why might this problem occur? Well, if the lower job was radically different from the final post, for instance, say the first job was an engineering job where they were designing and building new pieces of equipment and needed those new items to solve production issues on the factory floor, the job might mean that they were given a task to solve and some time and equipment to solve the problem. The job actually didn't require much interaction with other members of staff. However, once they're promoted, they're no longer directly working with tools and equipment, the kind of task they actually excelled at. Instead, they're trying to manage a team of individuals, which involves a whole new set of skills that the previous job didn't actually equip them for, so they may now struggle in their new role. And of course, some adaptive individuals out there who relish a new challenge and will quickly learn how to manage a team. There are many others who just can't grasp the new required skills. In theory, the person who was able to learn and adapt is seen as competent at the new level, so may be promoted again. On this new level, they may now be given a budget to manage and plan, and where to spend the money and what new staff they might want to hire, alternatively which staff they might wish to fire to save the company money. This again requires a whole host of new skills, with the possibility that the newly promoted person may be found to be incompetent at this new role. So far as I've stated, the principle is real and does happen fairly often in the real world. So what are the major problems with the principle? What can be done to solve the issue created by these incompetent people basically running a company? Well, fairly obviously, if there are many incompetent senior people in a company, the company is going to struggle. The company could fire all these people they're promoted. These were loyal, hard-working employees who just got promoted one more level than they can actually handle. A tactic that many companies adopt is restructuring. So senior jobs that are eliminated, others are created, many people are being placed in new roles and potentially have to apply for their old jobs. At this point, the company may fail to select the incompetent workers for their new higher level positions, and the person may return to their lower level job which they prove competent at. New role has their previous salary protected for a while, they may even be content to return to their previous lower position. This frequent shuffling of the chairs often means that high quality staff can feel uncomfortable, undervalued, and even insecure in their role in the company, may instead decide to leave the company and move to a competitor. People they leave behind might be those people who were incompetent in their old roles and now have an unfamiliar new role to also be incompetent at. So it can seem that poorly executed restructuring can just make a bad situation worse. One thing that's actually overlooked in these situations, especially by business executives, whose main focus is normally on how things impact directly on the company, is what the principle actually has on the individual worker. A promoted individual is likely to be a loyal, hard-working employee who's trying to do their best in a role they're unsuited for. Now, this new role may make them stressed out and generally unhappy with their job. It just makes their job even harder. This level of unhappiness in their current role can possibly be of actual use to the company though. Most employees want their skills and abilities to be recognised by the people working around them and hopefully by the company as a whole. A standard method for this recognition to happen is given a promotion, a pay rise, or a new responsibility within the company. This is why the victims of the principle keep on accepting the promotions until they reach that final level. So now you have somebody who wants to be valued, but is also starting to dislike their new role in the company. If instead of the standard promotion, the company can create a new role for the individual which maximises use of the skills they used in the previous level, minimises the new skills they struggle with, the person may jump at the opportunity to switch to the new role. This especially if they can retain their current salary. So the course require a fairly flexible management structure in the company, and one where executives pay close attention to the individuals working for them, rather than just trying to fit them into a standard mould for the job. This pattern of work may not be available in many companies, especially if the person in charge is also a victim of the Peter principle. Now, if a particular company is struggling to resolve an issue over the principle, the most obvious solution is to avoid the problem occurring in the first place. It seems a simple enough idea, but execution is a little bit more problematic. So say you need a new person in a new role in the company. You don't want to put someone in the position who will lack the competencies needed to do the new role. Now, one possible solution is to train and equip the range of individuals you're thinking of promoting before you promote them, rather than trying to resolve any skill issue once they have been promoted. This has the advantages both the employee and the employer both know whether they now have the required skills to advance to the next level. Potentially, an incompetent person hopefully won't even want the new role, as they recognise that they aren't able to perform the required duties involved, as well as the employer knowing that the person they promote will be able to handle the new position. What this does require is that the company invests in the staff and plans well in advance before any promotion takes place, as mainly training staff that actually won't end up doing a particular job, which might be regarded as a minor waste of resources. The theoretical waste, however, more than made up for both by not promoting an incompetent person, but also having a wider skilled workforce in case of emergency. So while Peter might not be able to do the role on a permanent basis, he might be able to cope for a week or two if some emergency occurred. Another often overlooked issue caused by the Peter principle, outside of having a range of incompetent people in senior positions, is the general impact of having a range of these people in their positions that you aren't able to promote any further within the company, and their impact this has on the general workforce. Now, this impact can be broken down into several parts. Firstly, most obviously, the direct boss of a particular group or unit within a company, seen by the workers as incompetent, the workforce will regard the entire management staff as incompetent, which isn't good for staff morale, motivation, or even retention of quality staff. Next, the fact that these incompetent people aren't able to be moved upwards and aren't good enough to get a similar job with the competition can mean that they stay in the job for years and years to come, only creating a toxic atmosphere, but also blocking career advancement for staff who may be far more competent than the current people doing those roles, causing an even greater loss or waste of talent. Now, while the Peter principle has been mainly used to explore some of the management issues within companies, many of these companies find their own ways to resolve the issues in case of adapt or die. Those companies that can't find a solution end up closing down instead. The major source of the current Peter principle, though, isn't within companies. Instead, it's within public service organisations, where the pressure to solve the issue created by promoting to a level of incompetence is actually currently left unresolved in many places.